right or you were wrong, it was like it came down from Mount Olympus, because that's the kind of relationship they had, and that's the kind of superwoman that she was. So I can only tell you from the experiences that I had, and then my in-laws, the Kagers. I just watched how they just drooled over each other, for 50 some odd years, supporting and loving and caring, and God knows, coming up through the civil rights era. My in-laws came from West Virginia, and that story, and still having that support and that love. So I can only respond to this from what I know, and that is, it's very, very difficult to be successful without your superwoman, and I'll leave it there.
I think, personally, there's nothing wrong with being a super woman, a super Black woman. Everybody wants to say, yes, I was able to handle this situation and that situation. I think the missing piece to the puzzle is that we don't add the vulnerability in of how difficult it is to be a superwoman. If we were to add that vulnerability in, then we could open up lots of conversations about what's going on in relationships. If I'm handling things, but I'm struggling handling things, but I don't want to say I'm struggling handling things, then I can't have a conversation with my mate about what he could be doing better or what he could be doing more to help me and us be this unified yoke of a family. It's the vulnerability part that we seem to deem as a weakness. It's not a weakness. And as soon as we can realize that being vulnerable is not a weakness, I think things will start to change.
I agree. You can't end it on a better note than that. Chief, you can't end it on a better note than that. Vernell brought it. I'm getting comments over here saying she's exactly right. She's exactly right. So, Vernell, you are doing this thing.
Yes.
You are doing this thing. This is going to be something different. This is going to turn into something else. This doesn't stop here.
But we always appreciate our listeners, and we appreciate getting the comments that are, that support what we're saying, and those comments that don't agree with what we're saying. So keep it coming, keep listening. We appreciate all the comments, and we appreciate all of our listeners. But I still love my superwoman, though.
Oh, he is trying to make sure he gets.
I love them too.
That's right. I love my superwoman.
Yeah, you told Harpo to beat me. Shut. Chief ain't right. He's trying to make. We are crazy. We have to be. I mean, you got to have some levity in it. But we all know that this is real, and this is part of our. I think last week we kind of made the unspoken promise that we're going to try to continue while we got folks listening who normally aren't listening, and hearing us in a different way now and listening to us in a different way.
Exactly.
I think it's incumbent upon us to be able to kind of pull out those things that people don't know or people aren't thinking about. And even some, not just other communities, but even in the Black community, I bet you there are people who are thinking like, you know what? I never thought about this whole superwoman thing, but it's real. And
it really is.
And it is, you end up placing more stress on yourself in that regard. And like you said, vulnerability is not a weakness. Not at all. And it's not something that you shouldn't be allowed to feel. The fact that a lot of women feel like they can't feel certain things.
Right.
That's not the case. You've got to be allowed to feel, things. You are affected by things, that like everybody else, disappointment, frustration, anger, all of that stuff is like, you got to be allowed to express that, because that is the stuff that gets under your skin gets into your body, in a real way. The stuff that gets under your skin gets into your body and manifests itself in high blood pressure and stress and all of this other stuff. We deal with stuff that gets under our skin all the time. And we do it without knowing a lot of times, because it is just, again, it's that whole thing where I keep talking about the fish that's in the water doesn't know that it's wet, it doesn't, and we don't know, we just grow up in this way of life, and it's just the way that we have to kind of move and to survive. And so, hats off to you for all that you've done, the work that you're doing, the research that you're doing.
Indeed.
The folk that you are helping that don't even know yet that you're helping them. There's a group that you look like you're going to end up starting.
Evidently I'm starting it.
I'm going to tell you the first two, right? Because you said you couldn't find. A lot of times you find out when there's things, when you see something that's needed and you don't see any evidence of it being out there, it must be, for you to do.
Yep. That's right.
In some way. I mean, you got some help, surely. I can give you two names right off the bat. That can help you. Hopefully they're listening and they can call you and let you know. But we're going to talk to you about the Alzheimer's things as we move into that too, because that's something too that folks are dealing with, and our folks in particular.
And that is my main wheelhouse right now. But I just want to say thank you so much, Chief and Thin Man, for our very first podcast, and I just appreciate you allowing me to be me on your show
all the time. Hey, that's what we do. You got to keep it straight, no chaser, like we say.
Exactly right.
So Vernell, we want to thank you too. Vernell Mitchell, you all has done her thing, has kind of laid it out, and she's just being who she is, which is why we thought she'd be a great guest to kind of talk about this particular issue and the research that she's doing. And we'll check back with her later on
Absolutely.
Any number of issues, but we can revisit this issue too. So, Chief.
Yes, sir.
We've come to the end of another week. Phil,
yes,
we want to thank you. William, we want to thank you. Arthur, we want to thank you.
Susan.
That's 3 different states right there, Vernell.
That's right.
People, we've got Georgia, we've got Maryland, and we've got Florida that we know of right now who called.
That's right.
And I got DC too, because my aunt in DC just texted me and said she is absolutely right.
That's right.
All right. Well, we're doing it up, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we're gonna. Oh, when the Chief will get all the analytics later, and he'll tell me tomorrow who we talked to, who was tuning into us, so that you can know where it is. I wasn't gonna tell you up front.
That's right.
I didn't want you to get all nervous on the mic, but you did.
I think you know me well, don't you?
We didn't want you to get nervous.
I want you to be like, I ain't coming down here. But
say, pull it together, girl. Pull it together.
Good steps.
Yeah, come on now. All right, there she goes.
Get it together.
Let's get it together. But we want to thank you again, Vernell Mitchell. Thanks so much for all that you're doing, all that you've done in the past, all the folks who you've helped who ain't thanked you. We want to thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate you. And Chief.
Yes, sir.
Did we play the Ambezi thing?
Yeah, we got Ambezi and her group in the background playing. And it's a song about a young lady that's trying to make it. And she's just kind of stressed out. So Ambezi's going to take us out. And
all right, Ambezi will take us out. And we want to thank you all.
So thank you, Ambezi. Thank you, Thin Bad. And everybody just kind of groove with Ambezi a little bit. This should be dropping here in a couple of weeks, but we just wanted you to hear it first.
Vernell like that's hit too.
That's right. Here we go.
I do. Very much.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like I'm not alright, then I shine so bright. You see lights and such. I just pray, believe that I can breathe. Then I look to what's in front of me, cause I hope to be just what you need. What you need? I think not. Baby, Baby, take a pen and jot, acting like you must forgot. Like I am the winner, I am the prize. What I do next, I can hardly decide. Feeling and killing the vibe. I'm chilling, but I am a villain inside. I'm killing your pride. I'm killing your pride. Cause I want you to be the bad guy. Yeah. Is that what you wanted to hear? Oh my, you're in your feelings, my dear. So just that we're clear, it's not how it appears.